G'day guys. A little while ago I was mentioning how when I set up the Corsair here I had a lot of trouble with the 3-position switch and the flaps. Now as you can see that's all sorted, but I thought I'd do a quick video on how I got that set up, because when I had a look around there was one or two videos out there, but none of them really seem to address what exactly it is that you need to do. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so what we're trying to do is get the 3-position switch to operate on the flaps. Now the thing that I found with this is there's no direct link to an auxiliary channel to the flaps. So you can't just hook it straight in with the standard Turnigy 9X system. So the first thing you need to do is to hook up your flaps onto an auxiliary channel. So let's do that. Enter the menu by press and hold into the settings, and make sure you've got the right model selected, of course. We can go up to the second screen, so this default is the first screen. If you go up, it'll take you to the auxiliary channels, and you'll see here when we press enter that I've got 2 channels set up. First channel is the gear channel for the retracts. That's a pretty straightforward switch for up and down. And the second channel here is the throttle hold, which is also called the throttle cut switch. If we can get a look at that on the top. Now I do use this switch as well to cut the throttle, or to make it so that the throttle gimbal doesn't accidentally start the motor after I land. So that is still active, but what we're going to use that is in the mixers. Now I've got this mapped to channel 6, which is actually the channel 6 of the transmitter. On the plane, that is actually the flaps is plugged into channel 7. And I might have a look at that in a minute. But this is the setup so far. Channel 6, throttle hold. You can see that that's the first option there. Let's have a look at what that looks like in the display, and you can see I have the mixers set up, and you can see here that gear is on the gear, channel 5. All of the regular channels, aileron channel 1, elevator channel 2, throttle channel 3. These all correlate with the receiver outputs. Channel 4 for rudder, channel 5 for gear, channel 6 for flaps. But you'll see the output is actually in an auxiliary channel, and the channel 5 is actually the throttle cut, which is saying flaps. But no matter where we put that, channel 7, which is the output, channel 7 and then channel 8 on the receiver is what we want to get to operate the flaps. So how do we get that switch mapped to that one? Well, that's through the mixing. So let's have a look at the mix. Exit out of there, and we can scroll down to the mixing menus, and here there's an option for 7 different mixes. We're only going to use the first 3. Let's have a look at the first mix, and you can see that that's active. Now the master channel that we want here is the flap channel, which is currently assigned to the throttle hold switch, and the auxiliary is, or the slave channel is the auxiliary, which is our channel 7. And there's two auxiliaries. So what you want to be careful of here is channel 6 flaps, channel 7 auxiliary. If you click that again, there's a channel 8 auxiliary as well. So you want to make sure you're on the first auxiliary. Not using offset. The up rate is -100 and the down rate is 100. And what that does is in each position of the throttle hold switch, it gives you the opposite behavior. And that is for the switch position of normal, which is the top position of your 3-position switch. So that's mix 1. Mix 2, which is then in the first position, and you can see at the bottom the switch position is ID 1, is active. The master is flaps. Again, this is the first auxiliary, no offset. And I've chosen 40, -40 and +40 for the first position of the switch. And that is then set to ID 1, which is position 1 of the switch. And what you can do is, when you are setting it up, is have the plane connected and bound and use the mix with the position of the switch turned on, and you can actually scroll up and down the values to see the difference in your flap movement. Getting a bit of reflection there, sorry. So the final position is position 3. Once again, no offset. This is a cumulative value, so you'll know that the first position was 40. This is another 25, and then an opposite 25 for the other position of the throttle hold, and that is then ID 2. And that's it. 1, 2, 3, 3 positions. Normal, position 1, position 2. If you did want to mix in some elevator, you have the options here on the mix 6 and 7. Mix 6, we can have a look at that. I have this switched off, but if that was active, once again, master is flap. The new slave, the slave here in this case is the elevator. And we don't need a normal position, we only need a position 1 and 2, which is going to give you a percentage of the elevator in line with the flap. And you can tune that by using the plus, and so have 60%. And I've changed that all across the board, although I think there's only 1 or 2 of these values that actually have a corresponding value on the elevator. And once again, position 2, have a look at the tune, and there's 70%. Once again, I could suggest, if you did want to tune in a little bit of elevator, if you're getting some ballooning, or if the flaps is causing the plane to lift too much, then you can do that. Alright, and that's it. Let's have a look at how that all turns out on the plane with the 3 positions. Okay guys, so I've got the plane connected up onto the 3-position switch, and you can see the flaps here just in the top of the shot. There's first position and second position. And you can see here on the transmitter that position normal is mix 1, and then we can have a look at mix 2, and in position 1 or ID 1, you can see here that that doesn't affect anything because the switch position of the throttle hold is in the other position on the top here. So if we flick that back where the throttle would be off, you can see how the offset here, or the value here, is negative. The up rate is now affected if we change that with the switch in that position. And here I'm just going to adjust my first position to slightly less value, so around 50. And then we can see that if we flick that other switch, you can see the difference between 40 and 50. And if we add that up to 50, so that there doesn't make any difference with the position of the switch. Menu to save. And that's the same here as well. Up rate and down rate is related to this switch, which we've set that to. And if we put that into the bottom, doesn't matter what position we have that switch in, because these are plus and minus. No change there. So there you go, guys. I thought I'd just do that short video. If you have any questions, post them as comments. If you have any suggestions on the videos, post them in there as well. Love to get your feedback. Thanks for watching.